All right, we'll see how this works. Trying a whole bunch of things out for the first time at one time. So this should be interesting. Yes, Chris, you are right. This should be interesting. Hope you're doing well. Um, what's going on is I'm just doing an ad hoc live stream here. Uh, what I'm basically doing, hey, Roger, nice of you to join me, is to do kind of a real-time demonstration of uh, using YAAC. Uh, it's a YAAC is a ham radio software. It's an acronym that stands for Yet Another APRS Client, and you use it's for those that don't speak ham radio. It is a way that you can share comments, messages, position reports over radio using RF and GPS, so you can share uh, your location. A lot of amateur radio operators, hams, if you will, like to set up a mobile radio in their vehicle that will show them when they're traveling around. Uh, in this YAAC software here, which I will show you. I got a screen going on. This is where it might get a little goofy because I got two different computers in the room going here, and I'm going to be bouncing back and forth, and hopefully everything works out here. This is the first time I ever tried doing something like this, so we'll see how it goes. But as you can see with the software, you get a big map. Here you can kind of see the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota. I live up in here, and this up in the I'm using the wrong computer, but I live basically about an hour and a half north of the Twin Cities metro area in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul. They may have been making the news lately with protests and mild rioting. And today is the No Kings protest, nationwide thing for people who want to protest the current president and all that kind of stuff. So we might as well jump into the politics side here a little bit. Basically, it's people who don't like Trump. Uh, there's multiple groups involved. I think last year they had two organized protests. The first one was a big nothing burger, but the second one gained a little ground. And there was actually a protest in my general area. And when I switch seats here, I can show you more where that is. And there was a decent crowd. There's like 100, 150 people there. Uh, Mostly out of town folks, people from the Twin Cities area, the cabin people. You could tell because the parking lots in the area were full of SUVs with Minnesota plates. So they were up at their cabins and doing their civic duty while they're away from home. I really don't care what your view is on the No Kings, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I If you're watching this from the no filter side of things, you know my take on protests this day of age. I avoid them whether I'm for them or not. Things get too crazy lately, and hopefully nothing like that happens. But enough of me rambling. I wanted to do this as a good real-time use scenario for using uh, some ham radio tools such as APRS and this software YAAC to monitor and collect and share information for events like this, whether it's a very peaceful protest or a parade, or the darker side of things of this thing, civil unrest, riots, but any other type of things that you may need to be careful for, weather events, flooding, fires, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Chris, I'm with you. I like the middle of the road too. It's easier to look out for deer. See what I did there? Oh, funny. But anyway, let me hop over to their seat here, and I'll get this display doing more stuff. All right, so now you should be able to see my mouse move around and all kinds of stuff. So with YAAC here, you just have like a street view map of the area, and I can zoom in and out with the mouse. Say, here we go. And know it takes a little while for things to update, but I can zoom in here. And again, here's the Twin Cities metro area, and you can see some objects that are beaconing on APRS. Like right here, we have an airplane, N0CFT, and you can click on it, and you can get some information on it. So that's kind of cool. This symbol here represents a digipeater, just like a repeater for ham radio use. This will repeat APRS signals that are sent out. Let's see, there's a few more around. Different nodes. Typically, you might see somebody driving around, but we're not at this point. All right, so now, and the cool thing with YAAC is you can bookmark different views. So I have a view that shows out in my general area. Here's where I'm generally located. Here you can see somebody's house, different repeaters. Yeah, I don't see anyone driving around, but that's all right. So let's zoom out to right here is Burnett County, Wisconsin. That's where I live. And I'll show you where last summer the No Kings protest took out, and it was a very good location. And you'll see here what I mean. Right here is Interstate 35 coming up from the Twin Cities, and this red line going across the middle of the screen is Highway 70. So that is about a very major road in my very small county. My county has like 15,000 people that live in it, and there are two traffic lights, one right where my mouse is at in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, and one over here in Siren. And Siren was the area where that protest was. Uh, it was an ideal location. Right here is not interstate, but Wisconsin Highway 35. That's a pretty major highway too. So right at where my mouse is right now, and I'll zoom into it right here to Siren. Right here was the location of the protest last time, and I would assume it's going to be today as well, if there is one. I drove by that area an hour or two ago. There's nobody around, but as you can see on this map, it's an ideal location. It is a traffic light on two of the busiest two highways in the county. So you line up people on the side of the road, and you're going to get attention because there's going to always be a dozen or two cars lined up at that stop sign at any time. Right over here is a hotel. There's a church here and a huge parking lot here where typically a farmer's market is. So this is a perfect location to have a protest of or rally or whatever you want. So let's go back to the highlights of this mapping thing, because picture this screen. You can share this via the web with other people in your group. You think of like a ARIES ham radio group. You may have a big screen at your event center or your portable setup, whatever. So you can share this information with a lot of people at any time. Uh, Besides showing where there is beacons being transmitted by APRS, there's some standard stuff off the street view that you can have, and you can add objects in that you want here. So go here, I'll add this drawing bar. And you see on the bottom of my screen, it has some very basic map drawing tools. You can draw a polyline, a rectangular box, an oval, and you can set the this basic. You can set the line thickness to color. So we'll go to red, and we'll draw a circle right around this intersection here. See if we can draw out here. And why is it not the right color? I don't know. As I mentioned before, I'm just trying to learn this. All right. Well, at any rate, I wanted that to be red, but that circle will indicate uh, the area of interest of what we want to stand clear of. All right. And it seems to be doing weird stuff, but that's all right. Hey, Derek. See you joined the chat. So that's the area that we would want to avoid. And we may share to other people that we want to avoid. If you get this thing set up right, you can share that. And then right away, another thing you'd want to do is help people avoid the situation. So this is, in this scenario where this is going to be a planned protest, you may want to avoid it just because you want to avoid the congestion and no other reason than that. Or, if you're like me and think that things like that could be a potential risk, I've said it before, there could be 1,000 people at that protest. 999 of them could be very polite and peaceful person, but it just takes one person that doesn't like your vehicle because you look the other side and they throw a rock through your windshield, right? So I tend to avoid that kind of stuff. So let's see here. Let's draw a line and see if we get the color to save this. Oh, I gotta hit the OK. Now I got it. Let's not go red. Let's go. Let's make this route blue. You're right, Derek. We are into weird stuff. So what I would do is say if you're driving down Wisconsin 35, the red vertical line, or coming in with Wisconsin 70, which merges and continues up, you want to avoid that area where I have the red circle. So easiest route for either way. Let's start this line here, right here on Main Street in Siren. And we'll go over to First Avenue. And we'll come down to Anderson Street and back to 35. And we can hit the. So there, right there in blue is our alternative route. If you want to avoid the chaos, hey, let's go down Main Street, go down First Avenue. We can turn back off on the Highway 70 if that's where you want to go. So we can share that to our group of there's an alternative route. All right, so let's zoom back out and see if there's any traffic coming around. Doesn't look like it. All right, so let's zoom back into Siren again. So there we can see, I don't know how, I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I should have invited somebody who knows how to use rack. Oh, okay, there we go. I got it to change. I don't know how to. I think I can add text and stuff to those objects, but that's all right. We got it going around. This is for visibility. I don't think we can share these items out on APRS. It just shows up on this map, but we can add stuff. If I go right here, I think I got to close that. Get rid of the drawing bar. All right, yeah, so now if I right click there, I can hit this create object. So the objects are the things that will show up on APRS that I showed before. So I'll hit create object and I get this dialog window here. And what it's showing me here are some options here because you can see right here, right where I clicked, I gave the longitude and latitude. So if I want to share that information, I can. We'll give it a name. We'll just call it No Kings, and we're limited on text. So No Kings PR. We'll give it a symbol. And here's all your standard APRS symbols. If you're not familiar with APRS, you can add a different symbol, as you can see, to define what you want. Where's a house, church, as you can see, all kinds of general items. So you can put. I'm just trying to find something that would look good and also kind of show you everything here. Um, so you can see there's all kinds of different stuff. So you see there's a lot of island. I just saw islands on the air. A lot of weather related items here, like funnel cloud, and you saw up before flooding and stuff. So you can see it's geared towards weather emergencies as well here. I'm mostly just screwing, yeah, see, flooding, wreck obstruction. Uh, let's just go with small circle. Or no, let's go with triangle. And then on the comment, that will be shown out. I'll just put protest area. Now, up here where you see this local, uh, this is how I would like to distribute this information. If it's on private, it's going to stay just on this map on this computer. Obviously, I can share the IP address. If I hit local, it'll share this object via radio frequency only, just in the area that can pick up the radio that I'm transmitting it from. If I hit global, then it will put that onto the internet so you can see it anywhere. For this, I'll put it as private because we're just doing it here. So there we go. Uh, it looks like I got a guest here. Let me get back to the other computer. Uh, hey, Derek.
Hey,
How you doing, man?
oh, not too bad.
All right. Yeah, just playing around with YAAC and showing how to use it. And I figured since the No Kings protest is going on today, this would be a I don't know, maybe kind of a fun real life scenario to go through. So I
Can't
kind
tell
of
if I
block.
got crap on my camera or not. I mean, I do right in this area, but
Oh yeah, I kind of I obviously the lighting here is less than ideal, so I'm trying to position my head so I'm blocking out the whiteout from the. So for those that don't know, behind my shoulder, that's where my ham shack is. The radios I'm messing with, and then my little ham radio laptop I got there. So that's where everything's going. I'm back on my main computer. Uh, so yeah, I thought I just started messing around with YAAC as I told you before,
mhm.
and I just thought, I could do the fake tornado or flooding or whatever, but I thought, hey, this is uh, a good scenario right now for protests, whether they're peaceful or not. It's good to monitor. So
Oh yeah, any kind of event, really.
yeah, yeah, whether it's Fourth of July parade or a riot and everything in between.
Oh yeah.
So I did so far as I just showed you how you can mark things up on a map. The biggest thing is like areas to stay away from, and what I thought would be handy would be a detour route like that. Um, and that would work great for weather emergencies too. If there's uh, washed out roads, trees across the road, down power lines, that kind of stuff. So,
Oh yeah. You know,
so
the other thing is say you're doing an event that you can, like a lot of ham clubs, they'll get into doing the ultra marathons or bike race, boat race. You can plot the
mhm,
route out,
yep,
note your closed cross street sections or anything of that nature.
right, yeah, for sure. And yeah, here I let me swing over there and we can do some more playing around here. Uh, I'll just turn my screen off here so you don't have to stare at the back of my head. So let's zoom back in here. So yeah, we got the area of interest for everybody. Um, let's see if I can. Okay, so there you can see the comment that I put in there. So there's the title, No Kings PR. It shows the age of Windows put up there, and there's that comment that I put in their protest area. So that's kind of the caution. There we got the detour around. Uh, so we can do other things like you said. Let's say uh, if as this thing's planned out, let's say that there's going to be some porta potties for everybody to use. So we could say right here, create object. Restroom. Make sure that's local. And it's handicapped accessible. And we'll just say rest rooms, event restrooms. What else could we put on here? I don't think that's. Well, yeah. So we'll share that, and we'll have the coordinates where it is. Uh, and just even say handicapped accessible. and I forgot to hit send, so all of that was in. As you can see, oh no, there it is. So there you go. There's the restroom. You click on it. Event restrooms, handicapped accessible. We could say that, I don't know, what else would we want to add to that? You're kind of in the emergency services type of stuff.
As far as planning in this end of it, not so much.
Yeah, but planning on the other side would probably be, let's say,
Well, you could say
okay,
where you say they let them park at the junior high or whatever,
yeah,
or the senior high, junior, the school. How's that?
yeah,
I couldn't read that a little till I squinted hard enough.
yeah. All right, so we could have here create object, uh, parking. And I do believe there was a, I wonder if I can, no, I was hoping I could, oh look, there's the restrooms, okay. That's when there was a parking sign. Yeah, this software is a little bit wonky. It's not all, it seems to be kind of random order of alphabetical and then different stuff. You can't do a quick search. Oh, there we go. All right, so that should pop up. But yeah, let's go update object to see if we can, yeah, we can, so we can change that because I saw a restroom in there. There we go. All right, so then the parking area showed up. That should update. So let's do more things on your side. With emergency services, and sometimes this map takes a while to update. But down here is the fire department and ambulance garage. So that's pretty close proximity, but let's just say we want to be able to get things there a little bit quicker. So let's put a rig right here on
So is this supposed to be sharing out to the APRSIS?
it can.
Or are
Right
you
now I
just
have
doing
it
it? You're just
yeah,
doing
right now I have
local?
it set as local, so it's just here on my computer. If I
Okay,
went to global, then it would be on that. Um,
gotcha.
yeah.
Sorry, that's what
Uh,
you get for the village idiot coming in late.
well, yeah, that's stuff like this is worth repeating over and over again because people come and go. But yeah, I'm not putting anything out on uh in the wild here to freak anybody out or confuse anybody.
There's
So
always that
here,
one.
yep, yeah. So we'll put a fire truck, and we'll call it truck one. Traffic control and support. And then right up here, we'll give it truck two. All right. So there, let's say, this is emergency services is coordinating this with the help of the local ham club. So right now we know that truck one is sitting there at that intersection. Probably got the lights on and the guy standing in the road with the walkie-talkie and the flip sign that says stop and slow, pointing people around the planned detour. And same thing up here is truck two. It obviously makes sense to have somebody here for Highway 70 as well. And I'm not getting too creative on names. I'm sure that each truck has their designated number at most places, or badge number of whoever's with it or whatever. I think each seems to be most departments do things their own way, or a lot of times. What is your experience? Do you guys all?
As far as, sorry,
If you have three trucks set up, do you have some tactical call sign? Are you like, or you just go by your badge numbers or what?
it's usually typically the whatever truck you're running.
Truck
So
5, truck 17, whatever.
yeah,
All right, so now we got some, so we got everything there for traffic control. So there, so we can do all that kind of stuff. Um, let's put right here. Uh, we'll say patrol 1, and that's going to be. Or is there a police car?
it was right at the very top, I thought. Or
Yeah,
oh
there's
yeah,
police. I'm wondering if there's like a police. I don't know why I'm looking. This is good enough.
that's all right. At least we know there's a fire truck icon because firemen are better anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that this will be badge number 543. So Deputy 543 is going to be parked there, block or two away so he can keep an eye on things but not be intrusive. So that would be kind of what I would do to set things up. But I think you get the point, and I believe we should be able to. No. Oh yeah, move object. So I can. He says he's going to move over to this position here. So because there's complaints that people are driving too fast on the side streets there. So that should update to where he's over there. All right, so that's kind of some of the mapping tools that you can do. Like I said, some stuff can be shared, some stuff isn't. So kind of neat. Um, and then here I just two other things that I'm playing with this is besides just being a mapping software, it tracks all kinds of other stuff here because right up here I have the show station object list, and here it shows uh, the different symbols of objects that are sent around, who's sending it by the call sign, when it was updated, and the comment that was on it. So a lot of stuff here you can see is there's people's eye gates, their different nodes, all that kind of stuff.
So you got the live feed coming off your radio?
I the live feed I have is coming off the internet. I cannot get the radio to talk to YAAC yet. I don't know what the deal is. I got the digi rig in between the radio as the sound card, but I don't know if I have to go through uh like another software. I thought it goes just into YAAC, but I might have to go through like that Direwolf or something. So I don't know. I was hoping Norm could join us. He's our technical wizard. But another cool thing here is this bulletin message system here where you can send and receive messages to specific objects or people, and you can set up a bulletin board that will be repeated every so often. So at the bulletin board, you can add different lines, and each line will be sent out at different intervals, and you can add updates to it. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, back over here. And Chris is talking radios. He needs to get either a 5100 or the 706 Mark II hooked up. I'm assuming you're talking to a computer to use it for YAAC or something like that, Chris? Yeah, and so I think that's pretty handy. Like I said, for groups, if let's see here, let's go back. Yep. All right, thanks, Chris. like we're showing here, this is pretty useful for mapping things out for any type of event. Like you're saying, like a long distance race, those ultra marathons or a bike race or something like that. You can have the whole route pointed out. If there's a ham radio club that's providing support, everybody's using APRS, so that person will be, if they have it set up to share positions, you can see where each checkpoint is. You can add things like where's a first aid station, where's restrooms, where to get food, all that kind of stuff. So it can be kind of useful. And like I said before, like for any type of storm or weather event, you can besides showing well, you can have detour routes around where there's a bridge or a culvert that's washed out, or a down power line, or multiple down power lines. You can point out where uh, electric company crews have their trucks at restoring power, where the highway department or the village crew is at with a chainsaw gang uh, clearing obstructions, and you can track where they're going to next and all that kind of stuff. And obviously for civil groups too, whether you're a prepper group or just a community group, you can keep track of chainsaw gangs and where to get food, where to get water, all that kind of stuff.
Just out of curiosity, will that let you draw polylines?
Yeah.
So, or even I was going to say, even if you wanted to sit by your computer and nerd, you could almost take like for those of us in the West that didn't get much of a winter, that you could almost take and update your
Oh,
wildfire footprints as
yeah,
they
I
as they
see where you're
update them.
going. I smell what you're cooking.
And then you could do whatever the evacuation radius is that they put for them.
Sure. Let's zoom out. Okay, so yeah, now you can see all the crap we added there. Yeah, let's zoom out. So let's keep it in the county here. Say there's a draw tools. Drier than a popcorn fart out, and we get a lightning strike right here. That starts a fire. Another one up here. Um, and then you could probably go in. Oops. Say that's the evacuation area. And then you can update an hour or two later. Uh,
Are you looking at what you're drawing, Shane? Just saying.
okay. Yeah, let's start that over. Jesus Christ. All right, we'll start that over. And then if you notice, I did not save all that stuff that I added before. So everything we drew there is now gone. Um, you need to save stuff that you add to the local. And then the cool thing like that, I could have saved that whole activity as a standard template, and then next time there's a parade or a protest or a rally or whatever, I can pop that same thing up and have the same plan.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
because you know in like planning meetings and that, and it never goes without fail that it's an
Yep.
argument. And well, what did we do last time?
Yep. And as a group, you can be proactive. Say you're a amateur radio club who's volunteering to help out at the local bike race. You can set as a group and go, okay, here's the route where we're at. Here's where the first aid positions are going to be. Who can be here? Who can be there? And you can get everything set up beforehand and have stuff pre-documented, and then you can go through. All right, let's
Or
play.
it's even a great tool for a debrief that
Yep.
this is where we were, this is where we were set up, this is what we need to do better.
Yes, absolutely. So let's see if we can do that fire thing again. Let's just do one strike. There's a fire out here, and it started right here. Why is it doing stuff? Huh. Draw tool. There we go. All right, the yellow is the original fire. Um, and then we'll just go back to what you're saying, where you can track it and like this. I was just going to default to keeping what I wanted. Color. And then here we do have the polyline. So say the wind's out of the northwest. So an hour later, the fire grows like that. And then again, you can change colors. So then the next time it's out like this. So now you can see where the roads and stuff are. So now that's where, obviously this will get pretty complicated for us to show. And why is that not? There we go. But now you can see where the fire is, and you can have, like you're saying, you can have your safety bounds. You can see where the fire crews are and everything like that. So you can pull in all the details that we had on the other one, uh, adding map items like this, and then adding objects so you can see where specific fire crews are, where and first aid stations are set up, where I don't know, I'm guessing you're the firefighter, but where like water transfer sites are, where you're pumping water from, like if you're pumping water from this lake, where you're setting up to do that, traffic control, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So all kinds of stuff. Oh, let me get back. And because I see some comments pop up. Roger must be laughing at our previous artwork. And then Jason, YAAC, isn't that what you do after too much Jägermeister? Yes. Yes, indeed. Ew. So that was about all I was going to do. I got the scanner on in the background. I was just thought maybe if anything was going over, I could update stuff real time if there's like an ambulance call or something, but they're pretty quiet. So I'm guessing, like I said, I don't know if you heard me in the very beginning. A few hours ago, I drove by where that protest was last time, and it was empty. There's nobody there setting up or anything. So, this is like the third time they've done this no kings thing. The first time there was nothing in my area. The second time there was about 100, maybe 150 people at that stop sign that I was showing. But that was late in the summer during cabin season. So, and if you went by that church parking lot, is full of Minnesota cars. So it's like all the cabin people up. I don't want to say stereotypical things, but it was the stereotypical people that you would expect to be there. You know, the middle-aged white suburbanites who whatever. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, it's there's still ice on the lakes, and it's off from shore, so ice fishing's done. So all the cabin people aren't up yet. So I would suspect that it's not going to be any of a turnout this time because the locals, we all have our political opinions, but we're not at the point where we want to stand on the street and scream at each other. We just do that on Facebook.
No pants required.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so yeah, I just thought that'd be kind of a fun little exercise to show YAAC in real time. If there was going to be an ambulance call or something like that, I could probably show where the ambulance is on the streets and stuff like that. It'd be just kind of fun, but that's about all I was going to do.
Well, at least it's cool to see another software rather than like what is it, the Win32 ICE, whatever, that's designed in circa Windows 95.
Yeah. Well, this isn't that much fancier. It's pretty basic, but that's all you need.
Oh no,
I've just started
keep it simple.
Yep. I just started messing around with it. There's different maps you can load in. You can add weather radar if you're hooked up online to it, and some other stuff. I've seen where people can put like aviation tracking on it too. That would be kind of cool. But I'm just, as you can see me fumbling around, I'm just starting to figure out how to work this thing. So I just thought it'd be a good example. And I figured if I had no kings in the title, it might be a little clickbaity, but but then again, I would have to like promote this channel and promote a live stream instead of just deciding a few hours before, hey, I'm going to do a live stream and don't tell anybody. So, that was about it.
Takes the pressure off.
Yeah. If you don't tell anybody, then you don't have to worry about screwing up in front of everybody. So, for wildfires, because I gotta pick your brain a little bit. You are on your local fire department and stuff. Do you guys have any type of system like this that's obviously not amateur radio related, but what do you guys do for like traffic control if there's a accident on the highway near you and you gotta set up on each side or route a detour? What do you just kind of go by, just wing it, or do you guys have some type of a standard?
Well, usually, like if we need a lane or a road closed, it's a coordination between us and law enforcement.
Hmm.
That depending on whose scene it is, it like most commonly you'd think if it's a traffic accident that and they have to be pulled or cut from the car, you would say, "Oh, well, it's going to be fire." No, we get corrected on that. That it's law enforcement. It's their accident. We're
Sure,
just there to help, which it makes sense because more or less you can look at it and go off of who's going to be there when most of the job's done, and
hmm,
it's still going to be law enforcement because they have to stay until the road's totally cleared.
yep,
So
yep.
if
They're
you
they're
a lot of times we'll sit there and tell them that hey, we need this shut and or we need this lane, and then they're usually more than apt to work with us
sure.
on that front.
Yeah, because typically you have a deputy or several out on patrol. So when the call goes out, they're typically the first ones to respond. They'll get there typically before ambulance and everything. If they're depending, on location and everything. So a lot of times they're the first ones there, first ones off, and they're kind of the general serve and protect. So that makes sense that they're doing most of the coordinating where the ambulance crew is all on stop the bleed, and you guys are put out any fire, and you got the heavy equipment to rip people out of a or rip a vehicle apart to get to somebody with the jaws of life and all that kind of stuff. So you guys kind of do the heavy lifting, and the police kind of coordinates everything. I guess that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, given like for our county, I can't even think off top head of how many square miles it is, but being in the West, we're fairly large. That
Hmm.
basically we our county goes up about well 40 mile or probably yeah I'd say 40 miles from the Wyoming border, like aeronautical miles, about 40 miles from the Wyoming border all the way to Colorado, and then proceeding west, and then we'll go clear down almost to I-70. So we have a lot of territory to cover,
Wow.
and typically, I think at the most you might have 6 to 8, maybe 6 deputies on at one time.
Okay.
So they're gonna they're gonna be where they will. I mean, they have free reign.
Yep.
They can patrol anywhere in the county. So
Hmm.
depends where they're at, and not only that, the local entities are really great to step in and support one another when you're shorthanded. That you might get PDs from other parts of the area to come chip in, help fill in until more agency appropriate
Sure.
resources arrive.
Yep.
Hard part with
And
us is it's just driving so damn far.
oh yeah, I can imagine everything's spread out for you guys. Chris, he's down in the southern part of Wisconsin. He's doesn't have any rallies in his area either. So yeah, I think, like I said, around here, the
The
locals
locals
don't get
don't
too
get too
crazy on
crazy on
stuff.
stuff.
But I
I
I think
I
I
think I've
muted you
muted
there.
you
I
there.
think
I think
yep, I was getting some feedback from you for some
for some
reason.
reason.
I think your pods went dead and defaulted to the computer audio. All right, so I got you on mute for a second there. And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, it's. Oh, I did forget. Oh, Chris was saying that there's no rallies in his area. There's none in mine either. I think it's what I saw last summer was mostly cabin people from the Twin Cities. The locals don't get that fired up about stuff. They keep it to themselves. So I would expect if they do this No Kings thing again in the summer, I may have something to track live, but we'll see how that goes. Get your stuff figured out there, Derek?
Yeah, you just go to scratch one ear and it totally dicks your whole day up.
I was like, I'm hearing myself. What did I do? And I see
Yeah,
on the.
that was my bad.
Oh, that's all right. It's all good. All right. Oh, I read that wrong. I thought he he does have. Well, we have a No Kings rally. He does have one going on. I saw the no and thought no rally. All right. Thanks for correcting me, Chris. All right. You got any? Did you
I
see
don't even
anything
know if
in
we
your
have,
area?
I don't even know if locally there is one. Frankly, I really don't give a shit either way.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
I know Salt Lake City was preparing for a large gathering,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
I'm glad that
No,
mess is 3 hours away.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure down, hour and a half from me in the Twin Cities, it's going to be crazy today. But yeah, they can have it. You
And I'm
know.
not saying that on any kind of political footing. I don't give a shit
Yep.
either way.
Oh yeah. I've been saying it for a long time. If there's a planned protest or rally, I'm avoiding it, even if I'm for it 100%, because,
I
like I
look
said
at it as a
earlier,
high target area.
exactly.
Just saying, I
Yep,
stay away and don't give a shit because of my own safety.
exactly. The scenario I said before, there could be 1,000 people at that rally, and 999 of them can be the most peaceful, uh, civilized people in the world, but it just takes one asshole to don't like your truck because you like your one of the other ones and throws a rock through your windshield,
Mm-hmm.
or the counter protesters show up, or it just takes one dipshit to ruin it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how it is in Minneapolis. I won't go down there. Whether I agree with them or not, I'm staying away from that bullshit.
It's no different. You're not going to go to a war zone to vacation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I am I'm as pro Bill of Rights as you can get. I think everybody should have the right to say whatever they want. They should be able to assemble. Whether I agree with them or not, it's irrelevant. Have at it.
It's
But
their
for my
right.
personal, yep. But for my personal safety, I'm staying away from it because there's just too much stupid in the world. I don't like crowds in general, like sporting events and stuff. I rarely go
No,
to anymore.
no. Like even a concert, I have to really direly want to go see who I'm going to go attend.
Yep. There's too many stupid people in this world, so avoid it.
Hell, I hate going to the city even when it's out of necessity.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yep.
I have to go to Southern Utah tomorrow, and I'm dreading that because it's turning into Little Los Angeles.
Chris is one of us.
There's a
All
reason
right.
we live where we do, right?
Yeah. And as the Twin Cities area grows and kind of implodes, a lot of people are leaving it, and there's more and more buildings popping up around me. I want to move farther out away. I want to live on a cabin on a lake that lake is on a island of a in a bigger lake. And
Mm-hmm.
just I want to live in a place where people have to put a lot of effort to find me. That's where I want to be. Uh,
100%.
and I have a nice zero noise floor to play radio with too.
Exactly. You don't even have to bitch about your neighbor's solar.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Give me some land far, far away and a nice radio tower, some Starlink, a nice garden, a good deer rifle. Uh, Heaven. Yeah, Green Bay for a city is as big as it gets because Green Bay doesn't really count as a city, you know. That's about all the bigger I want. Yeah. All right. Well, now we're just old men bitching, and it's about lunchtime. So, at any rate, I think we did. It was kind of fun. Got to show some things with YAAC. I thought it'd be a fun little scenario. It's too bad I wasn't smart enough to hit save when I had our little scenario over detailed out with traffic routes, protest locations, and staging areas and all that kind of stuff because that was kind of cool. But whatever. We'll play around with this a little bit more and go from there. And I think this is going to be the subject of the upcoming regular monthly live stream for the Scout 75 channel. Maybe we'll play around with this a little bit more in the background with Norm and others, and we can kind of show what we did, but a little more organized. So, yeah. Yep, we're just over an hour now, so I think we might as well just end it. So, thanks everybody for hanging out. Got any final words?
Enjoy your weekend.
All right, that works for me. Take care, everyone.